A Bangalore-based filmmaker, Mahisha is a force to reckon within the Kannada film industry. As a director, writer and producer, he is the founder of Neelavarana, an Ambedkarite production house that provides a platform for Dalit, Adivasi, Bahujan and other marginalized artists, ensuring that their stories and voices are authentically represented on screen. Let's give a warm welcome to Mahisha.
Hello, my name is Mahisha. I'm a filmmaker based in Bangalore, and I'm also the founder of Neelavarana Media. So, Neelavarana, we're trying to create content in Kannada with Bahujan artists, especially Dalit Adivasi filmmakers, artists who are not much represented in Kannada. We wanted to create a platform where people from Dalit Adivasi background can have a safe space and a community space where they can create art without any hesitation. That's where the name comes in. Neeli Avarna. Neeli means blue. It's a color of equality. Avarna means platform. Being from the Dalit community myself, so in life there's so many hurdles.
And in media you never see that. And even when you see it, it's not represented accurately.
The reason for that is there's not enough representation of people from Dalit Adivasi background, because filmmaking is such expensive media, and then it's also so much gate kept. The information is gate kept. That's why there's lack of stories there. There's lack of interesting stories. And whenever I was talking to people didn't understand much. And then I realized, I as a person, as a younger person, I need a space where I can share with fellow people and where we can create openly without hesitation, without kind of a discrimination.
Yes.
Yeah. Scene 3, shot 1, take 1, action.
That's a question you get asked a lot. No, when did you decide to become a filmmaker? What is the first time of never you're becoming a filmmaker? I don't have any such thing, because I think I constantly gaslit myself to not to think of becoming a filmmaker. And I was always interested in filmmaking, but I don't know, it's just a hobby, because you don't see anyone around you or a filmmaker. And filmmaking is so much big, right? So much abstract. So it always felt not an option or something you do on the side, on the weekends. So there's no time where I was like, okay, I'm going to be a filmmaker. The moment I was gaslighting myself, and I was just going towards the same direction. But I'm still going in the same direction. And I became maybe now I'm a filmmaker now.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. And also I never went to college, so just being here, my ego just goes up. So
even before internet existed, I would watch all the movies after 12, because after 12 are the quote unquote boring movies would be played, like Shawshank Redemption. I think I remember majority of the things I watched, Godfather and everything, is after 12 o'clock. Even though that's very censored, but still. So I think that gave me a lot of exposure to watch.
Initially, I would ask all of our experts to give their thoughts about whom this city belongs to. And then we will explore their personal narratives.
Who owns Bangalore, right? That's such a complicated question. There is this whole Kannada movie I was watching recently. There's a whole scene where the lead actor, Anand Nagwa, is talking to a shopkeeper in Telugu, and he's replying in Kannada. And I thought that's such an amazing scene. And even in my film, there is a lot of Dakkini in the film. Second film, there's a lot of Tamil in the film. And for me, any friend group where they're all Kannadigas is like a fake friend group. I've never been in a friend group where everyone is a Kannadiga. That's a very false representation of how Kannada Bangalore culture is. And that's what we see in all Kannada films. Again, we grew up on Kannada film, and my father was a huge Rajkumar fan. So we would watch a lot of Rajkumar films, and I still have those DVDs which we would watch together. I think one of the favorite thing for us to watch together was Shankar Guru, where Rajkumar plays tribal role. So that's quite fun. I think I remember watching a film called Bharat Stores in Chandana channel. Chandana or DD1, I'm not sure. I think it might be Chandana. But it's a film by P. Shishadri. And it's a really simple, nice film about the Kirana stores in Bangalore or India. The film is a larger commentary on liberalization and all that, but I did not understand none of those.
Hey, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ ನಿಂಗೆ? Get out! ನಾವಿನ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಆಫೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು 3-4 ಸಾವಿರಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಫುಡ್ ಕೂಪನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಿಗ್ ಬಜಾರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಡೀಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಗಡಿಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ?
ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಸ್ಥ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನಿಯತ್ತಲ್ಲಿರಲ್ಲ ಕಣಮ್ಮ.
ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಸರ್? ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್.
For me, it's these kind of films are also made in Kannada, because these films don't come in theaters. And even if they do, we don't get to know about it. And that was my entry into Kannada parallel cinema.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದೇನು ಲಾಪತಾ ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಅದರಿಂದ ಟೀಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್? ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಹೆಂಗಾಗತ್ತೆ?
ಚರ್ಚೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂವಿ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅಂತ ಚರ್ಚೆ.
ಅದು ನಮ್ದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಲಾಪತಾ ಹಿಂದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಜನರು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಮಿಳ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇರಾನಿಯನ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದು ಅದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಮಣಿ ಅಂತ
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ.
ಬರೀ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರ? ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಫಿಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಟೀಮು. ಇದವ
ಅಣ್ಣ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡೋಣ.
Two of the film which I've done were developed as a part of a web series, but because I did not know how to find a producer, I kind of basically made a short film so that I can use that as a pitch. One of the film is called Area Boys, which is about these 3 boys just hanging out in the area and you just spend a day with them. Another film is called Kadamba Gelare Palka, which is about, again, 3 boys who are trying to keep a Ganesha. There's a lot of friendships attached with that. And to idea of masculinity as well. So, how male relationship work. Sweeter side of male relationship is always aggression, pulling each other's leg and that kind of thing, right? But I think there's much more to male relationship than that. So I wanted to have those elements in my film as well.
ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಕನಸು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾ, ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಏನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಈ ವರ್ಷ?
ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಗಣೇಶ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್ ಕಲರ್?
ತಲೆನೇ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಬೇಡಿ ಅಣ್ಣ.
Whenever you see a film about Bangalore, you only see urban Kormangala, MG Road, Indiranagar kind of Bangalore, or very Brahminical Malleshwaram and Basungudi, Malgudi Bangalore. So for me, it's like I grew up in Matikere, Yashampura, and like I don't see that in my media. So that was the first reason I wanted to make such stories. I've lived in Bangalore my whole life. Being here helps because everyone is here, right? And there's like communication, like you can just go to a certain place and meet people. For me, staying in this place and trying to create art here is more important. Last year I had a process of going house hunting, and it's the most horrible thing for me. Like just try like again Malleshwaram Basungudi is already off the table. Then they start asking with like, oh, veg or non-veg, and then they have other ways to kind of what does your father do? Like they kind of narrow in. Some people are just direct. They're just like, hey, which caste are you? Who do you belong to? Kind of thing, right? And when I go for house hunting, I have to decide between having my pride or having a house, right? So that's something which I have to constantly deal with. So that way, but at the same time, a fellow Dalit friend of mine who's from rural background, he was saying, "Oh, if you had a chance to live in, do you want city or like a Bangalore city or like would you like to live in hometown?" I just say Bangalore. If you're in a smaller town, you might have to be the person who's gonna, okay, I'm gonna start a community here. I'm gonna start a filmmaking community or artist community. I'm gonna go out and organize meetings and all that. I think that spirit is there in Neelavarana as well, right? Hello, today my latest film Baba Save in Bangalore is getting screened at Bangalore International Center. Berlin screen as well is the second time it's being played in Bangalore, India. Previously experimentally play agittu where it also won a special mention. Now it was going to be screened here. This project explores the idea of Baba Saheb statues in Bangalore. Hengi ad impact madadu, what is the cultural impact of these statues? What does it mean? Anta. So through this project, I explored this part, but that's going to be screened.
Focusing on this aspect, we now have a screening of Baba Saheb in Bangalore, and I would like to invite the filmmaker Mahisha to introduce the film to us.
ನೀಲಾವರಣ ಒಂದು ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ವಾದಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೌಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೂಡ. 3 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀಲಾವರಣ ಈ ವರ್ಷ. ಸೊ 3 ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ನೀಲಾವರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ವಾದಿ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರೂ ಕಾಣಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಅನಿಸ್ತು. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾವು ಜಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀಲಿ ಆವರಣ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆವರಣ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೊಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ ಹಾಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ. ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ Galilee or whatever are the kind of soul geniuses and all that. No, like every artist is a result of artists who were working with him contemporary time or the artists who came before. Because we are constantly building up. It doesn't like come out of vacuum, right? So I feel like any artist, we are like directly or indirectly, we are the community. We are kind of constantly borrowing, taking. We can't. Mahisha or Neelavarana cannot exist by itself.
ಹಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು. ಸೊ
ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ವೃತ್ತಿ ಚಿಹ್ನವನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸಂಪಾದನೆ
So last week we had a very pleasant surprise. We got a response from Payal Kapadia, who's the Cannes winner last year and then Caste jury this year. So we sent some of our films, and not only did she reply, she's given us a very long, detailed email describing on what she liked about our film, what all she thought about our film. Primarily, she spoke about Owns Bangalore and also Moda Moda, which is directed by M.K. Abhilash. And it's a Neelavarana production film. I was so excited, I did not even reply to the mail for 2 days. So I was like, what do I reply? So basically she said, it is wonderful that you can find a nice and talented team to make films like this, particularly like this, Alva. So the fact that we have a team where we kind of collaborate together, I think that's such a hard thing to happen. This came in as a big win. Like someone like Payal, who all of us admire so much and is such a big name, her responding means a lot to us and kind of gives us so much of energy and then enthusiasm for us to kind of continue doing what we're doing.
One other project which I hold very close and I keep sharing with everyone is Varsha, which is a music video by this artist called Ragu. I met Ragu in a rap cypher, which is held by 1.5. I was sharing about my goals with Neelavarana, and he said, hey, actually, bro, I have made a song which is very similar. And I saw the track, and it was basically, he had recorded it in his own phone, I think, and he had used a free beat. It was very rough around the edges, it was production wise, it was not there, but his voice, the lyrics was like amazing. On that moment, I was like, bro, let's Neelavarana produce this. We'll re-record the song. We'll go to a studio and record a song. I'll get a proper beat producer and get it done. I just said it, but had no money. I don't know how it's going to be done. I can shoot, but there's no money. I just said it because I felt so strongly about it. I was like, this needs to happen. It's such an amazing track. It needs to be done correctly.
ತಾತನ ಕೈಲಿಟ್ಲು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಆದ್ರೆ ತಾತ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಜಾತಕ. ಹೇಳ್ದ ನಿನ್ನ ನೋಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾವ, ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗೋ ಹುಡ್ಗ ದುಡಿಯೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಣ. ಆದ್ರೆ ತಾತ ನಾನ ಸಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ನಿನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಸಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಸಾವಿತ್ರಿ ಬಾಯಿ ಪುಲೆ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು.
For me at this point, whatever we've been trying to do with Neelavarana, it's at this point is so much instinctive or like it's so second nature to me. Like if something I feel like this is something which we need to do and I go ahead and do it. I want to do it and I can't scratch that itch without doing it. I do want to prioritize money more. I do want to make more money. But somehow when I get this itch, I do kind of put all my effort here. So that's the contradiction I think we all live in.
One, two, three. So basically today is Ambedkar Jayanti and also our third year anniversary. So we started Neelavarana on Ambedkar Jayanti with our first project. I think I've been attending for last 4 years since I started discovering the community. Says what are the community spaces, where are the community people join in and all that. So since then I've been coming here every year for Ambedkar Jayanti, Buddha Vihara, Buddha Purnima and all the other important Ambedkarite Buddhist events.
As an artist, especially something with Neelavarana, which is intersectional platform, we do try to collaborate with female filmmakers, queer filmmakers and underrepresented other marginalized communities, right? In Ambedkarism, like the women empowerment has always been a part. Even Baba Sahib, when he was alive, like he's constantly worked towards a lot of women empowerment, right? Not just like Bahujan women,
all women. One of the examples is in his Hindu code bill gives property rights ownership to women. And at that point, like majority of Dalits did not own land. Some of them were not allowed to own land. So the primary beneficiaries were upper caste women. There are a lot of social and economic implements he put in, which was not just for Dalits. So I think that's why people aptly call him people's leader. So I think that's something we kind of, with even Neelavarana, we try to implement the same ideology in terms of inclusiveness. We do realize how all kind of oppressed minority needs to tag in together, right? It's basically the idea of intersectionality.
So with Neelavarana, while we are doing, we realized even with that, we don't have our own women in our platform. And then we're like, oh, if there is no female filmmakers in the short film stage, there's no way someone can be there at a feature film, right? It needs to start at the ground. We have been trying to actively work towards having that. Like, for example, last year we did this thing called Maraman Jatra. So we thought we can apply the same thing and try to do a screening of just women filmmakers who are like, have made a couple of films, trying to work towards their feature film. And that platform can be where people can come in. All the technicians, female technicians, or anyone who's interested in this topic can come in and kind of discuss what are the root causes of it, how it can happen. It can be a place where they can meet and collaborate.
I was a part of theatre groups here in Bangalore. She played the lead role and directed, like that blows my mind. Sorry, my producer says so.
Whenever you see Ambedkar statue, you do see this quote, which is educate, agitate and organize.
We try to apply the philosophy even as simple as filmmaking. And then after that we realized, okay, like we do need women filmmakers, and women filmmaker in our collective, right? They realized, okay, there's no Dalit women. And we have been looking for the last 3 years and there is very few of them.
3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವೊಂದು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ದಲಿತ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫಿಲಮ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕಿನ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಪಾರಂಜಿದು ಚೀಪ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಅಂತ ಬೈಗ್ಲ ಥರ ಹೇಳಿರೋರು ನನಗೆ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಥರ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬೈಗ್ಲ ಥರ ನಂಗೆ ಬೈದಿದ್ದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದು.
So we recently have launched a program which is a rating program for Dalit women writers specifically, so that we can start from the ground, and then we have got a really good responses.
ಅದೇ ಹೊಡೋದಾ? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ನೀವು ಇದು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಕರಿತಾ ಇರಿ, ಬರೀ ನೀವು 4 ಜನ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕರೀತಾ ಬರೀರಿ, ನಮ್ದೇನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
I do realize we're in the beginning of our journey, right? And there's hopefully great things to come, hopefully. But I do think I'm in a right path with the people I'm working with the artists I'm working with, right? But it's just beginning and we're just working towards that, and I'm constantly curious. I'm constantly open-minded to kind of see what other artists have to say, because I do understand, I don't know everything, I haven't figured it out. I'm trying to just figure things out. So my goal has always been that let's figure things out together.
To express our gratitude, I now invite Dr. Shodipta to facilitate our panelists. First, Mr. Mahisha.
I think when you do follow your passion, right? I feel like this passion, right? It's just like a bit, the word is like a bit overused and what is that? That right? Glorified. Yeah, that's the right word. There's this kind of a very mythology building around the word passion. Passion means that, passion this thing. I mostly see it as a urge or a itch you can scratch. Like it's something you have to do. It's not something like, oh, I feel so, there's like roses, butterflies and rainbows. It's not that. I think it's more of a kind of a urge to kind of get things done. Whenever I talk to people who are not in art or not in, they have a 9-to-5 job which pays them really well, and they're like, oh, it's great that what you're doing is so cool and all that. And I'm also very happy for the choice I made, but it is very hard. It takes a lot of persistence. It takes a lot of continue to remind yourself why you're doing this. Sometimes we forget. It's really important to keep reminding yourself and keep assuring yourself why you're doing it. Maybe 10-20 years down the line, someone younger, a 20-25-year young Dalit person, don't feel the same way I felt a few years ago. I realized that it's very important for something like this to be created now, so that maybe 10 years down the line someone can benefit, so that there's already a community built where they do feel like there's a safe space for them to kind of create that art. when you're telling your stories, you can't just see it as an individual. Like you do see it as because you are a bigger part of it, and you do see a responsibility of like represent your community or like trying to help. Because you're never seen as individual, when you kind of try and do something, it can't be alone. My goal is not individual. I don't want to do something alone. I do want to do something with a lot of people from the community.